Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. I'm Paolo and today we're going to tackle this question. What should I do with my life? That's a question that most people ask themselves at least once. And here's the thing. The way the question is usually phrased makes you think as if you need to find a life purpose, something that you can completely dedicate yourself to. But in my experience, that's probably not what you're looking for when you wonder about your purpose in life. Because unlike fictional heroes in some fantasy novel, we don't have nor do we need a prophecy to fulfill. In fact, fictional heroes who are destined to save the world, they still have other goals. Saving the world isn't their only life purpose. What you really want to know when you ask that question is probably how to spend your life or your time, well, your time is your life, in a way that feels meaningful to you. Naturally, there isn't just one answer. What you find satisfying, I might not find fulfilling. So, here are 3 ways to help you figure out what you really want to do with your life. Number 1, stop thinking of what you should do. Because even though you may not always be aware, the word should invites a way of thinking that puts way too much importance on what other people think. But remember when we were kids and believed Santa was real and we thought that adults had every answer? And then we grew up only to find out that not only Santa didn't exist, but that adults did not have life figured out. So you can see how basing your life's most important decisions on what other people think isn't the smartest strategy because they themselves don't know what to do with their lives. Instead, it's much wiser to replace should with want, to prioritize your values over external opinions. Don't worry, this doesn't mean that you have to become self-centered, arrogant, or selfish. Putting yourself first doesn't mean putting everyone else last. It just means that you take care of yourself so you can always be your best version, or at least most of the time. Okay, now let's do something more practical. Number 2, consider what you're willing to suffer for. A friend once told me he wanted to pick up drawing again and quit his job and become a freelance artist. I said, okay, cool, it's always good to pursue what you really want in life. But it's also really important that you understand just how much you want to do this. He looked at me a little confused, so I continued. I said, okay, you say you really want to do this. Now imagine this like signing a contract, and this contract asks you to meet very difficult requirements. 2 off the top of my head could be, are you willing to practice for hours every day? Maybe after work, and do this for years before even thinking about quitting your job? And are you willing to do your best to promote your work, but still end up with nobody seeing it? And consider that in all this, you would be competing with people who didn't quit drawing ever since they were like 4 years old. Unsurprisingly, he didn't like what I said to him, but given that I myself had spent many years pursuing so many things I really thought I wanted to pursue, only to quit after 1 week or 2, I just had to tell him. Because the truth is, dreaming about the desired outcomes is easy. Everybody can do that, right? But most great things in life all require pain and sacrifice. So if you really want to figure out what you want to do with your life, you need to stop for a second and ask yourself, is there something you would gladly work your ass for, even if it meant years of consistent effort and repeated failures? For me, this was, and still is, achieving financial freedom by finding success online through my writing and content creation skills. This is like my mission statement. If you also have something that makes you say yes without hesitation, then you might have found something worth pursuing. Number 3, look for clues in your daily life. Many people make the mistake of thinking that the answers must be out there, somewhere they haven't thought about yet. But most of the time, that's just a distraction, a way to procrastinate. In reality, most of the time, your life already contains all the clues you need. You already have things you love to do or would love to do if you had the time. Think of things you enjoyed during childhood and that you quit after you grew up because you're not a kid anymore. Maybe you have quit hobbies because of this supposedly mature and adult idea that if you can't make money from something, then it's a waste of time. But honestly, that's just nonsense. Like, I play a little bit of piano every day. It makes me feel good and it relaxes me. But based on my skills, I could never make a living from it. Does this mean I should quit playing piano? Of course not. Not everything in life needs to pay you. Like, yes, making money is important, but it's not the only purpose in life. And it's certainly not the most important purpose. If there's something that you love to do and gives you peace, there you go, that's your answer. Go do it. Pick up that guitar that's been sitting in the corner. Start writing your novel. Grab a piece of paper and scissors and start folding origami, if that's what you like. But do it, even if it doesn't make you money. And if you don't think you have the time for it, make it. There must be activities that are less important and that you could reduce or completely cut to make time for something more important. I was 18 when I first decided I wanted to change my life for the better. But it took me until I wasted most of my 20s for any of this to finally click for me. Of course, you don't have to waste an entire decade like I have. But you also don't have to figure out your life by next week or next year even. You just need to, first of all, let go of all those negative shoulds like I should be successful by now, I should have started a family at my age, or I should try to please everyone. Then pick something you really want to do. Some kind of pain you would gladly accept. Now, just to be clear, pain here doesn't mean you have to physically hurt yourself. It's more like the pain of discipline, of facing uncertainty, of continuing to show up even when things are not going too well or people are not supporting you. And remember what we said at the beginning. You don't have to just follow one purpose in life. The, the act of deciding what kind of pain, what kind of goal you are willing to suffer for is just an exercise to weed out distractions. But it's not like if you decide to pursue something, you have to stick with it for 5 or 10 years minimum. You can change your mind along the way, as long as the decision is yours and you take responsibility for it. But all that comes later. For now, what you need to do is to get started. That's it from me today. I hope this video has helped you gain some more clarity about which goals you really want to pursue. And if you already have many goals you've been working on and are starting to feel overwhelmed, you might enjoy this other video I've made. And I'll see you next time. Bye.